in the brutal battlefield of the vast savannah, where the line between hunter and prey is pushed to its absolute limit, will ruthless fangs or sacred maternal love determine who survives tomorrow? African predators. Brutal battles of Serengeti. The sun rising in the eastern Serengeti brings no warmth, but a fiery warning. A thick, honey-like orange light spills over the barren, dry grasses after 6 months without a drop of rain. Here, winds carry dust and the scent of death from the dry bones scattered on the cracked earth. This is a wild kingdom where each dawn opens a new gamble of life and death. There is no mercy, no absolute justice. Only fangs, speed, and the will to survive, deciding who is the predator and who will become the prey. In the midst of the dry season, under the acacia trees withering from lack of water, the pride of the lion pride began to waver. Four days of hunger and thirst had exhausted them. Before this, they had attempted to attack a herd of African buffalo. It had been a reckless and misguided decision. The old buffalo, with their curved horns like cold steel, had formed an impenetrable defensive circle. A fatal goring by a male buffalo had left a young lioness with a large gash on her thigh. Blood still oozed out, attracting swarms of buzzing flies. The failure not only brought physical pain, but it also eroded the morale of the leaders. The alpha lion, a nearly 200-pound black-maned male, let out a deep growl from his chest. Hunger was burning them from within. Without meat today, the young lions in the pride would not survive the night. Just then, a colossal figure appeared on the horizon. A mature male giraffe, nearly 6 meters tall, leisurely crossing the savannah. Its slow, dignified gait seemed detached from the harshness of its surroundings. But in this dry season, that solitude was nothing short of a death sentence. The lions simultaneously raised their heads. Their amber eyes narrowed, focusing entirely on their new target. A silent, unspoken communication of glances prevailed among the hunters. They understood this was their last gamble. Although giraffes are herbivores, they are never easy prey. A single kick from their hind legs could break a lion's bones. Normally, the predators would steer clear of this giant, but hunger had driven them to take the risk. The lionesses fanned out, hiding behind waist-high dry grass to get closer. They moved silently, like ghosts. From above, the giraffe suddenly froze, its large ears turning forward. It had sensed death. Just as the giraffe was about to turn and flee, the alpha lioness leaped from the bushes, initiating the hunt. From 3 directions, the entire pride closed in, forcing the giraffe to panic and run away. The lions did not risk making direct, dangerous pounces. They employed a strategy of attrition, constantly changing the giraffe's direction of escape, pushing it into a state of psychological exhaustion before delivering the decisive blow. Its chest heaved violently. Ahead, a glimmer of hope for survival flickered. A large body of water where the dry season river had contracted into a murky swamp. In desperation, the giraffe thought the deep water would be a shield against the large cats who hated water. It plunged straight into the lake, sending water splashing everywhere. But the giraffe was wrong. This mistake cost it its life. Beneath the murky, still water, a colossal black shadow, more than 5 meters long, was slowly moving. It was an ancient Nile crocodile, known as the king of the underwater. This crocodile had lived for half a century. Its armor-like skin scarred with countless battles. The giraffe lunged to the river's edge, its long legs churning up the murky mud. But after only a few steps, it stopped. Its eyes widened in panic as it saw a dark shadow lying motionless beneath the water's surface. The crocodile waiting. It didn't attack immediately. Only revealing its cold eyes and 2 nostrils above the water's surface like a living trap. The giraffe hesitated. The invisible pressure from the deep water, combined with the deadlock on the steep ditch bank, created a two-way standoff. In that moment, the savannah giant understood that every path before it led to its death. The moment the giraffe panicked and ran back from the water's edge to the bank, the lions seized the opportunity. The entire pack of beasts swooped down from the slope, forming a pincer movement. The combined weight of the predators weighed heavily, completely shaking the 6-meter-tall creature. The giraffe struggled a few more steps, throwing a desperate kick. But its legs were already exhausted after the escape through the mud. The weight of the pack pulled its massive body to the side. Crash! It collapsed onto the bank, kicking up a cloud of dust. As the giraffe's last breath faded, the silence of death enveloped the pool. But then came the earth-shattering roar of the male lion, declaring its dominance of the feast. Blood stained the sandy ground. Amidst gnawing hunger, perfect coordination, discipline, and unwavering faith in their pride helped these supreme predators overcome adversity, snatching life from the clutches of death. Facing the giraffe's formidable weapon in its desperate hunger, do you think the lion's tactic of cornering it was too cruel? Leave your opinion in the comments below. The giraffe fell to feed a lion family, but its species continues its great journey across the savannah with miraculous biological mechanisms that few would have imagined. Giraffes are often seen as gentle creatures that eat leaves from tall trees. But to maintain their unusual size, nature has equipped them with incredibly sophisticated techniques. To pump blood from the heart to the brain, located at a height of 6 meters, a giraffe's heart weighs 11 kilograms and must generate blood pressure twice that of a human. If a giraffe were to bend down to drink water, this pressure could burst the blood vessels in its brain. To address this, nature has designed a special one-way valve system in the neck and an elastic network of blood vessels under the brain to regulate pressure. Even their tongues are a marvel. Up to 50 centimeters long. Dark green to protect against sunburn from being exposed all day, and coated in a thick layer of saliva that allows them to comfortably swallow needle-like acacia thorns without injury. When the rainy season returns, bringing with it lush green sprouts, The call of instinct awakens. This is the time for the male giraffes to prove who is worthy of passing on their genes to the next generation. Two adult male giraffes stand facing each other in an atmosphere thick with hostility. They don't have antlers to lock down like deer. Their real weapons are their long, muscular necks and the rock-hard, bony horns on top of their heads, which can turn each neck whip into a fatal blow. Bang! A deep, heavy sound ripped through the silence. A violent, primal, and ruthless battle was triggered. The surrounding space seemed to tremble with each sledgehammer-like swing of its neck. This battle was called necking. There was no mercy. The blows were so brutal that the sound of bones cracking could be heard from hundreds of meters away. Pride and sex hormones drove the confrontation to a life-or-death struggle, until one was completely exhausted, bowing its head in humiliation. The victor, with bruised wounds, held its head high and walked towards the giraffe waiting beneath the trees. After the fleeting mating, the giraffe began a grueling 5-month pregnancy. During this time, it had to move constantly, nurturing the fetus while evading the watchful eyes of predators. Then the moment of birth arrived. The mother giraffe could not lie down like many other animals, because in the savannah, even a slight slump could make her a target for predators. It gives birth standing up, so that even the most fragile moment of life is a confrontation with death. The fawn is born from a free fall from a height of 2 meters onto the hard ground. This cruel fall is a prerequisite for stimulating the respiratory system, forcing its lungs to function for the first time. The fawn lies silently on the ground, enduring the pain of its first life. The mother deer quietly bows her head to erase any traces of scent that might attract predators. Within 30 minutes, a miracle of evolution takes place. The fawn must stand firmly on its 4 long, shaky legs. Time is of the essence. If it cannot stand up and suckle its first milk within an hour, it will be left behind. But the wild world is never gentle with weak creatures. A newborn fawn is like a delicious, mobile piece of meat to a pack of cunning hyenas and a hungry pride of lions. Its innocence and slowness leave it completely helpless under the deadly gazes lurking in the grass. More than 50% of giraffe calves do not survive the first 6 months of their lives. The majority end their short lives in the stomachs of predators. A giraffe's maturation is a series of miracles paid for with the blood of its unfortunate siblings. The survival of a young giraffe depends on the utmost vigilance of its mother. The mother giraffe is a mother through silence and endurance. Constant fear means she never sleeps more than 20 minutes a day. Always standing guard with a distant gaze, transforming her body into a shield to protect her young. Motherhood in the wild is truly amazing, isn't it? Share your feelings about this great sacrifice in the comments below. In contrast, in the world of lions, motherhood is expressed in a completely different language. Brutality, pack love, and harsh lessons. When a lioness gives birth, she separates from the pride. Hiding her tiny blind cubs in safe, isolated spaces. The mother lion cares for her offspring with a tenderness that contrasts sharply with her bloodthirsty nature. Her barbed tongue, usually used to tear flesh from prey, now gently licks the soft fur of the cubs. When the cubs are about 8 weeks old, the mother lion leads them back to the pride. This is a crucial milestone. This return ensures that the young cubs receive protection from the strength of the group. Here, the world of the lion cubs comes alive and overflows with love. The alpha male lion, a terror to the savannah, is an infinitely tolerant father when with his cubs. The scene of the black-maned father lying on the grass, letting his cubs play with his tail, creates a rare moment of warm tranquility. These childhood games are not just for entertainment. They are exercises that shape the reflexes of future kings. When the lion cubs turn 1 year old, the pampering of childhood begins to give way to the harshest lesson of their lives, learning to kill. At this age, they begin to face a reality full of blood and dust. At this time, the lionesses had cornered a lone wildebeest. This species of wildebeest is a tenacious, migratory animal, possessing a resilient physique, but also a tendency to panic. The wildebeest was quickly subdued by the experienced lioness. Once the prey was subdued, the lioness did not rush to end the hunt. She holds her prey under control, then growls softly, calling her cubs closer. For lion cubs just 1 year old, this is a pivotal moment. They must deliver the final bite themselves. A psychological and physical battle ensues between the clumsy cubs and a struggling creature. In despair, the mother lion stands by, observing coldly, never intervening. This lesson is cruel, yet it embodies nature's greatest mercy. In the wild, a lion cannot live forever in its mother's shadow. If it cannot master its killer instincts before reaching adulthood, hunger and ruthless elimination will destroy it. The skill of killing prey is its only ticket to survival. While the mother lion uses the ruthlessness of her claws to train future killers, in another corner of the savannah, maternal love is written in a completely opposite language. It is a great protection, boundless patience, and a sacred family bond that lasts a lifetime. It is the world of African elephants, gentle giants possessing the deepest love in the wild. The greatness of a mother elephant begins with a grueling 2-month pregnancy. For nearly 2 years, the mother endures the scorching sun and the depletion of water resources during the dry season to nourish her unborn child. Each day is a tiring and stressful journey across the arid hills. And then the sacred moment arrives, protected by the entire family. Unlike giraffes, who give birth alone in fear, the mother elephant gives birth in a living fortress. Members of the herd form a solid wall of flesh, raising deep, resonant roars to warn of any threat from the shadows. A baby elephant is born amidst the cheers of its entire clan, a moment filled with sacred emotion. The baby elephant is born with almost complete blindness and trembling legs. But nature compensates for this fragility with a special privilege: absolute collective protection. Throughout its early years, the baby elephant is always the center of the herd. Walking under its mother's belly and sheltered from the harsh sun. Its unruly trunk awkwardly sways back and forth. The mother elephant uses her trunk to caress and patiently teach her offspring the first lessons of family bonding. These are not lessons of killing, but lessons of love. Although gentle when her child is threatened, the mother elephant transforms into the most terrifying nightmare of the savannah. This confrontation is actually kindled from the moment the sun sets. Throughout that day, a large pride of lions fix their hungry eyes on the newborn elephant calf. They patiently followed the elephant family's tracks across the barren hills, maintaining a distance that was safe but always within striking range. Under the scorching sun, the lions witnessed an impenetrable unity. Whenever the herd stopped to eat leaves, the female elephants and their mothers intertwined their powerful bodies to form a solid wall of flesh, trapping the calf in a safe center. At times, hunger proved unbearable. A lioness daringly emerged from the bushes, attempting to get close to the gap between the elephants. But in an instant, a massive adult elephant spun around, ears wide open, trunk coiled, and charged straight at its predator. The ground shook under its heavy footsteps. The lion immediately froze, then fled through the dust before the overwhelming pressure of a creature dozens of times its own weight. But the lions did not leave. They retreated into the shadows, lying still among the dry bushes, waiting for exhaustion and the night to do the rest. When it was completely dark, the elephant herd began to move slowly across the rugged terrain. In the chaos of the night, the helpless baby elephant fell behind by only a few dozen meters. That distance was too small for the herd, but large enough to become a death trap. As soon as the baby elephant let out a weak cry, the lions immediately rushed out from the shadows, closing in and knocking down its fragile body. The elephants in front panicked and turned around. The mother elephant roared and charged back. But it was too late. The calf was dragged into the dark grass, where its cries faded amidst the smell of blood and the thick darkness. The gamble of darkness and ruthless patience had prevailed. The next morning, as the first rays of sunlight fell upon the cold ground, the mother elephant returned to where her calf had fallen. She stood silently for a long time, her trunk slowly touching the ground, the trampled patches of grass as if trying to find the last faint scent of her unfortunate offspring. There was no roar, no more resistance. Only a giant mother stood in the middle of the savannah. Remembering her loss with a silent, wild memory that would never be erased. The giant mother's grief left a vast silence on the savannah. But the scent of death and loss would never be forgotten. From a short distance, hidden behind the dense thorny bushes, small, shrewd, round eyes watched intently. A long, eerie howl rang out, followed by a series of screeching sounds like the insane laughter of humans. It was a spotted hyena. In wildlife footage, hyenas are often portrayed as cowardly, cunning villains, preying on and scavenging on the sidelines of lion fights. But that's just a superficial view. If you lift the veil of prejudice and delve into their dens, you'll be astonished by one of the most tightly structured and disciplined societies on the planet, and a unique form of maternal love backed by royal authority. Completely opposite to the world of lions or elephants, where males usually hold the advantage in terms of size or alpha status, the spotted hyena society is a supreme matriarchal system. Here, females reign supreme. Female hyenas possess larger, more aggressive bodies and significantly higher levels of male hormones than males. In a hyena clan, females, despite their lowest status, always stand above the males, who hold the highest status. The poor males play only a secondary role, always having to grovel, eat last, and endure beatings from the queens. This strict structure creates a disciplined pack with tenacious pursuit power, capable of overpowering prey many times their own weight. Hyena maternal love is not as gentle as that of elephants. Nor does it display its fangs and claws in the hunting grounds like that of lions. It begins deep within the den with an invaluable source of nutrition. Mother hyenas nourish their cubs with a superior milk, possessing the highest energy, protein, and fat content of all land predators. Thanks to this thick, creamy milk, hyena cubs can go without food for several days when their mothers are away hunting. And their bone and joint development is astonishingly rapid. But the most brutal and powerful aspect of their world is the inheritance of status. A hyena cub's social standing isn't determined by its own efforts as it matures, but is directly inherited from its mother. If the mother is the alpha female, her cubs are born with royal blood. When they leave the den, other adult hyenas, however large and experienced, must bow their heads, yielding food and giving way to these royal cubs. The mother hyena uses her power and ferocity to protect her cub's throne, ensuring they always get the best meat to maintain their superior physique. Despite having the pack's support, when faced with threats to her cubs, the mother hyena is ready to transform into a courageous lone warrior. The greatest enemy of the hyena cubs in the den is not only lions, but also the cunning and ruthless leopard. When the entire clan went hunting, only the mother hyena guarded the cave entrance. Upon spotting the leopard lurking near where her cub was hiding, she didn't flee. The mother hyena bristled, bared her teeth fiercely, and launched a decisive attack, forcing the intruder to retreat. In that moment, maternal love transformed her into a living fortress at the cave entrance. Hyenas may not possess the elegance of giraffes, the majesty of lions, or the wisdom of elephants. But from a natural perspective, they are the most resilient mothers, fighting relentlessly to protect their bloodline in a harsh, hierarchical world. The animosity between spotted hyenas and leopards has been deeply ingrained in the genes of both species over millions of years of evolution. When the leopard was pushed back from the hyena's cave entrance, it quietly retreated into the shade of an ancient tree. It was neither angry nor hurried. As a lone hunter, it knows that patience and the shadows of the foliage are its ultimate weapons. Leaving the hyena den, the leopard begins to gaze down at the dense grass below. Where a male impala is diligently nibbling on the last dry leaves. This is a clash between two of the most outstanding biological wonders of speed and agility. Possessing a body perfectly designed for camouflage and assassination, its spotted coat allows it to completely blend into the interplay of light and shadow beneath the canopy. Unlike lions that rely on pack strength, or cheetahs that rely on linear speed, the leopard is a master of close-range bursts of power. Its extremely strong hind legs and flexible shoulder joints allow it to perform spectacular short-distance sprints. While its claws are adept at climbing vertical tree trunks. Its rival, the impala antelope, is also no pushover. It's the high jumper of the savannah. To survive against feline predators, the impala is equipped with incredibly sensitive ears and a highly elastic leg tendon system. When panicked, it unleashes unpredictable zigzag jumps to disrupt the predator's vision. In particular, its sense of smell is so acute that it can detect the scent of predators from hundreds of meters away if it's downwind. Taking advantage of the wind, the leopard slowly lowered itself from the tree branch to the ground. It pressed its belly against the sand. Each step so silent that not a blade of grass made a sound. The distance narrowed and the psychological pressure increased with each invisible stride. By the time the impala noticed a vague anomaly in the surroundings, it was too late. The leopard launched its attack. A yellow spotted shadow darted out like an arrow tearing through the air. The explosive speed at close range completely overwhelmed the prey's reflexes. A lightning-fast struggle ensued in the dust. The leopard demonstrated the skill of a professional hunter, quickly turning the hunt into a decisive one. The suffocating bite locked down any chance of resistance. After only a few minutes of desperate, silent struggle, the impala straightened its legs. The hunt was a resounding success. On the prairie ground, a lone leopard guarding its prey meant making itself a target for looting. Instinct told it to act immediately. The leopard, using its physical strength, laboriously dragged the carcass up a tree branch more than 5 meters above the ground. This was its safe haven, where it could leisurely enjoy the fruits of its labor without fear of being disturbed. The leopard lay on the branch, calmly enjoying its victory in its high fortress. But the smell of fresh blood in the wind was a news broadcast across the prairie. On the ground, the shadows belong to opportunists with collective strength. The spotted hyenas quickly sniffed out the feast. They couldn't climb trees, but they had the weapons of patience and overwhelming numbers. Any piece of meat that accidentally fell, or a moment of carelessness from the leopard when forced off the branch, would be snatched away by the hyenas on the ground with chilling, cackling laughter. Up in the trees, the leopard reigns supreme, but on the ground, the hyena pack's rules are in order. A lone hunter would never be foolish enough to confront an entire hungry pack head-on. It's a legitimate dispossession in the natural world, where individual strength sometimes bows to pack discipline. The concept of personal revenge may not exist in the wilderness, but the brutal competition for survival and territorial defense is ever present. The sun began to set behind the ancient acacia trees. Painting the Serengeti sky a fiery red with the desolate last rays of the day. The shadows of giants and reclusive predators, from the long necks of giraffes the silent footsteps of grieving elephants, the proud gait of lions, to the erect manes of hyenas. All stretched across the sand, slowly merging with the earth. Nature has no right or wrong. No mercy or cruelty. Lions killing deer. Hyenas stealing leopards' prey, or darkness separating mother and baby elephants. All of these don't stem from hatred, but from the ultimate instinct. The need to survive. Death nourishes life. And life is determined by heroic deaths under the free skies of Africa. In this vast and harsh savanna, there are no absolute victors. Only one thing that endures forever, the indomitable will to survive. It is the most tragic, brutal, yet also the greatest song of creation. An endless cycle of life without beginning or end.